Hi, this is Tracy from GiftBasketappeal, and today we're going to be covering this tin container, and I'm going to be using some Mod Podge on it, and we're going to use some scrapbook paper to cover it with, and then we're going to add a little bit of bling to it. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is trace out the size of our can. So I'm going to need to cover the top and cover around the sides, and I think I'm going to go ahead and cover the bottom as well. I think that'll be nice. And for some reason this blue, kind of bluish green and blue scrapbook paper, I'm really loving it. So I'm going to just turn this over, and the top of the can is going to actually look like this. I'll use this for the top. And I'm just going to trace around it and cut it out. And I may have to make some adjustments along the way. But I love covering cans or upcycling containers. Love doing that. Do another one like right here. And this is going to be for the bottom. Okay, so it's the top, the bottom, and then the sides. I'm thinking the side would look, and I only need to cover this little part right here. That's the only part I'm interested in. The sides, I'm just going to just measure it a little bit on here. And I may end up cutting it down a little bit. And I'm just using my little markings here before I cut it. And so this is the part that's going to go right around the rim of the can, the larger part here. And I'm not going for perfection here. I'm going for having a good time making something. Okay, and I probably need more than one of this. And cut it down just a little bit more. And I'll need more than one of these to go all the way around. Okay, and then I'm going to need something to cover this little part right here. And so I could either use some of the scraps from this and just maybe trace around that. Let's see. Just cut out a tiny strip for that. And you can measure it if you want. I'm just kind of going around here and using my container to measure. Okay, so I'm going to need a couple of these strips here. And this will be the part, I'll need more than one of this, but this will be the part that's going to go right around the edge there. Another easy craft to do. And this container, actually, my husband has a certain kind of shaving cream that he likes, or shaving balm, and it comes in those containers. So I just like when he saves the containers, if he remembers. So I'm sure there's a ton of them that were thrown out, and he knows that I love to cover these containers. Okay. I'm just going to go cut out this circle here. I really like this, the way the pattern on this. And I made one for my daughter, and she keeps like little hairpins and things in there. But you could also put maybe the little tiny stud-like earrings can be in there. All kinds of little things. So maybe you can put even paper clips. You can keep it in your office. A container of paper clips. And I'm not being perfect with these cutouts. I'm just kind of cutting them out. Just going along. Having a fun afternoon sharing this with you all. I'm going to just cut this down just a little bit more. I was going to use just one color or one pattern type of scrapbook paper, and then I said no, I think I'm going to use more than one color. You know, I'm going to be daring. Yep, so that's what I'm going to put. I'm going to Mod Podge it on there. It's going to look really nice. I could already tell. And I'm gonna cover the bottom. Normally I wouldn't cover the bottom, but I thought it would be fun. Now this had a label on the top, and I'm not really worried about that label. Still got a little bit of gooey stuff on there, but since I'm covering it, it's not really gonna matter. But normally I would just clean it all the way off. Okay, and I'm gonna be very careful now to put this on here. I really want this to be nice and smooth, so I'm just taking my fingers, just gently smoothing this over. And it's oozing onto the sides, and that's okay. It's going to look nice because I'm going to go over it with more Mod Podge, probably a couple of coats, and let it dry. And while that's doing its thing, I'll put another one on here. No one's going to see it, but that's okay. It's amazing what you could cover with Mod Podge and scrapbook paper. And this one is over the sides just a little bit. I'm just going to cut it off. Just like that. No big deal. I'm just smoothing it over a little bit. And some of the Mod Podge is just coming onto the sides there, and that's okay. Kind of seals on pretty good there. Okay. That's good. And so let's put this little thin piece on here. And if I need more, I could cut out more. Let's see if these two strips will do. And I'm just going along the sides here. I could already tell this is going to be so cute. You ever work on one of those projects and before it's done, you could already tell it's going to be so pretty. And there's no messing up with Mod Podge because it dries clear. So and if you want, rather than go along here with scrapbook paper, you could actually use ribbon, a thin ribbon. And it looks like I'm going to have to cut out just a small piece to fit this part. No problem. And I'm just eyeballing this here. Let's see. Actually, I cut it pretty perfect. And the nice thing is it's all one pattern. So it's really not going to show. And if you're hearing noises, it's because my doggie is right here by my feet, listening in. Okay, and so that's the top part there. And I'm just going to go ahead now and Mod Podge it over. And I'll probably use a couple of coats because I do want it to have a shine to it. Just put a couple of coats on there and let it dry. Now, just as a tip, do the sides first and then do the top because I need to hold on to it, so and I want to get my fingerprints in there. That way I can hold it while I get this side part, but it'll work out still. Okay. This is going to dry nice and clear. Okay, I'm going to let this one dry for a moment. I just want those edges to stay down, so I'm just taking my finger and smoothing it. These little containers love Mod Podge because it's really adhering nicely. I'm just going to leave that there to dry. And that one is pretty cloudy, but that's okay. It's going to dry clear. Okay, and now for this one, I'm just going to go around the sides here. And I really don't want to go on this area right here. I'm going to leave that alone because that's where it kind of snaps on. And I really want to add bling to this. I think it'll be so pretty with some bling added to it. And you can already see I'm going to have to cut that down, and that's okay. And I'm using a pretty good amount of Mod Podge on there. I really want this to lay down real nice. Just going to overlap that a little bit. And smooth that out. I'm just going to put some Mod Podge on there to smooth it out. And I'm just going to use my finger to smooth that out just a little bit. And I am smoothing over the edges there. And I'm going to just I'll put some on the bottom to have that overall shine. And you can cut out some felt and line it with felt in the bottom area there and in the top if you wanted to. So there's so much you can do with these. Okay, so I'm going to leave this and let this dry for a little bit. And then I'm going to come back. I'm going to actually put 2 coats on, and I'm going to come back and show you what it looks like. So far it's looking pretty good. And we're going to let that dry. Okay, so our container is all dry. And look how pretty that looks. It's the bottom and the top. And if you want, you can leave it just like this, and it'll be fine. I waited about an hour and a half to let it dry since I put 2 coats on it, and it's still just a little bit sticky, so you want to let it have that 24-hour period of drying, and that will also depend on how many layers of Mod Podge you put on it. So now I'm going to add some bling to it, and I'm going to do the top. And so I'm going to just use my hot glue gun because I know it'll dry really quick on here. And these self-adhesive gems I got from, I believe I got them from Walmart. And so they always have these really pretty gems over in the section where they have like the ribbons and stuff. So there's a pattern here, and I really like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow this pattern. Wherever there's like a circle in here, I'm just going to put a little bit of hot glue in there. And then I'm going to go ahead and follow the pattern by putting a gem on here too. It just gives a little bit, just a little subtle sparkly thing on there. Okay, and that's on there real good. I don't want to put too much hot glue on there because the gems are tiny, so just putting a little bit on there. And even though the gems are already sticky, I'm just adding the hot glue just to make sure it adheres and stays on there. And you can use the art glitter glue, which I really like, or you can use tacky glue. So it's up to you. You just have to let it dry. I just like the fact that the glue gun is immediate. And I'm using that glue gun on a high heat setting. And these are pretty sticky too. So I'm really liking the way this is coming out. And although it doesn't match exactly, this gem has just the right amount of blue. And it just ties everything in. You see, it just kind of matches without really being matching perfectly. But this is more like this, but I just wanted to break it up just a little bit. And that is so pretty. I hope you can really see that on camera. Just putting it in that side of that circle. I'll put one more right there. And look how cute that is. It's so pretty. It almost has like a pattern, like one here, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. I didn't even mean to do that, but I'm going to take some of these really tiny ones, which I really never use, and I'm going to put those inside of this little circle right here. So if I want, I could stop right where I am, but I want to just add another, just something else to it. This is so cute because you keep your little tiny crafty gems in this container too. I'm trying to be very careful with that glue, not to put too much on there. Wow, and look how cute that is. If you can see the sparkle on there. So pretty. I'm really liking that. And it just adds a little bit to it. It just changes the way this plain tin can looks. And now I figured if you want, you can stop here. But I'm just going to add a little bit of bling right around the side here. And what I'm going to do, let's see, I'm going to cut this down a little bit. And this is that bling wrap from the Dollar Tree. I'm just going to take it and let's see, I want 2 rows or 1, let's say. I think that looks really pretty. I'm going to put that around here. I'm just going to start it off where I want it. I'm going to put it right there. And the bling wrap is light enough so you don't have to have a whole lot of glue to hold it on. So I'm just lining it up and gluing it. That's so pretty. I'm just going to do the rest of it. The nice thing about this bling wrap is that you can just cut it to the size that you want, which is really nice. I bought this blue bling wrap from Dollar Tree during the holidays, and I wish I would have got more because now I don't even see it anymore. So if I see more of this, I'm definitely going to get more because I love the way this blue looks. And this is one of those fuss-free crafts that you can do, and it's just so easy. I did do one of these using a, what is it called? An Altoid can. It's it has a rectangular shape, and I gave that one to my youngest daughter, and she loves that thing. Okay, so we're going to line that up right there and cut it. I just love the flexibility of this diamond wrap, so you can actually make it form to however you like, and it's just easy to cut through, and it just looks good. End it right there. Okay, and look how pretty that is. Wow, that looks really, what a difference from what it looked like before. And so it still has a little bit, it's still a little bit wet, but I could still work with it. But if you have those little containers, go ahead and use them, because you can turn them into something else. So I hope you like this project. Once again, thank you so much for joining me, and don't forget to subscribe and like this video and comment below. Thanks for joining me. Bye.